Should have clicked it. Should have clicked it. There we go.
Doesn't look good.
Not really.
Let me get Chris to put his
What?
graveyard over a little bit.
Okay.
It's just like
Maybe we should zoom out the camera just a little, maybe?
Want to do that?
Yeah, probably. Want me to do it?
Yeah. Tilt down a little bit, like face a little bit lower. Can you lean the camera slightly this way? Or we can move the mat. Like you can move it up a little bit that way. Make sure we can see that graveyards. And then yeah. Should be good. The bottom cuts off the mat a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, I see now. Why?
Cool. Oh boy.
Jumping in.
You test sound?
Oh, it's good. You can just see right there.
I don't believe you.
Well, we don't have headphones.
So John mulliganed 6. I saw while we were setting up.
Okay.
There's no bueno.
Abzan control versus Abzan aggro. Is it aggro? It looks aggro to me.
It's got 4 mana confluence, so it's got to be aggro. Like it is aggressive.
Well,
he does have
1, 2, 3. He's living the dream.
He's still playing a a Tasigur.
Yeah,
Which is
he
fine.
played Tasker and Abzan aggro.
Just one though.
I tested this matchup a lot versus Tom,
He's
who was
got- he's
playing
got
control, and it was a
4.
bad matchup for aggro.
He's got 4 Anafenza. That's the whole lot of Anafenza. But I think in this matchup, I think John is very favored.
I think he's
minus
very favored.
minus the
Super aggressive.
Fleece Main Lions going nuts.
Fleece Main Line and Rakshasa Death Dealer can be pretty powerful, but if
All these Anafenzas.
Anafenza is an excellent card. If you're playing aggro, you gotta have
Chris also has
4 Anafenza.
he also has 3 Boon Satyrs, which can be pretty good against the Abzan control deck because
The Wrath.
you can just end step surprise him.
Doing Heroes Downfalling while he's tapped out to avoid Valor's Stance. Which
Yeah.
seems to be a pretty popular card.
But I think John's probably just wasn't able to catch up from his mulligan here,
Mulligan.
and he doesn't have double green to cast his Courser, which would be
If it's a land,
pretty awesome against Chris. Courser is just like very good in this matchup. You get to block a lot of stuff, plus draw cards, gain life.
so he has not leveled up his Warden, I don't believe, this whole game.
No, I think he's just been busy casting other stuff.
If John
It makes sense to not want to
level it up, yeah.
because the Absent Control deck has so much removal, and if you're just spending your time, dumping mana into it, you're not developing your board, and if they just have a removal spell, you get totally screwed.
Leaving an Anafenza in the graveyard. Not bad. 2 mana 4/5 in aggro.
So I mean, he left up mana to level up this turn,
Yeah.
but John has two
Rhino.
Siege Rhinos and can't cast either of them.
If he drew a land there, it would have been alright.
So John, I
That was
think
a Bile Blight.
John is dead.
I believe he is dead too.
Yeah.
Exactsies.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to game 2.
And that's an upside of playing aggro. You punish.
Yeah, I mean,
Punish bad hands.
if John hit his 4th land that game, I think he would have been in real good shape, but he didn't, so he lost.
He lost. We got sideboards.
Um,
At Chris Neal first.
So Jonataro's no good. Probably bring in these 3 Nisses. He's got 1 cut, which you probably just bring in for value. Maybe not. Let's see what he's taking out. I think that's probably more relevant. I think Valorous Stance is just better than the other removal spells because it kills all the things he cares about and he can protect his own guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to bring in any other removal spells.
He's not even. Chris Neal's not playing any Bile Blights.
No Bile Blights.
That's nice.
Yeah, he's just
That's
like,
really good against this deck. Bile Blight is terrible against.
It's just a bunch of the best Abzan creatures plus 3 Valor Stance, 4 downfall.
He's also
1
playing
Abzan charm.
Vermaz. That's not a. I don't think that's a normal thing.
Yeah, he's got 7 legendary creatures in here. 4 Anafenza, 3 Vermaz.
Thoughtseizes aren't bad,
Thoughtseize is not bad,
but I'm not sure what you cut.
yeah, like I could see him bringing in Thoughtseize, Nissa, Glare, and Cut, but like Cut isn't better than the 3 Valor Strands or the 4 Heroes Downfall. It's probably still worse than the 1 Abzan Charm too. So I don't think you are bringing that in, and I'm not really seeing any creatures that you really want to board out. Like maybe some amount of Anafenza, like it's a lot of mana, you're not getting as much value out of it, it's harder to cast. But I think Chris could just, maybe shave like in Anafenza, bring in like a Thoughtseize, like 1 Thoughtseize. I think he might just leave the deck the same.
He might. He's looking at the Nisses.
The Nisses make the most sense, I think. But I think
he's
it's
looking to take out Tasigur,
and then
those are
Glares, which are also on his board. Like he's also struggling with sideboarding.
Yeah,
so
he's like,
I don't feel so bad.
What are we taking out? Yeah.
What does John got?
John's got.
Oh, nice. This is your deck list.
Yeah, it's my deck list from yesterday. He's got 2 Glares, which is like the best sideboard card in Standard that I would definitely bring in this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very efficient removal spell. He's got 2 Masteries, which don't seem good. Drowning Sorrow.
I don't think it's good enough.
I don't think it's good enough either.
It kills. It does get Warden, and it gets.
He is playing Warden, which
like,
is
it's not enough.
Back to Nature.
And if he saw a Boonsayer, like it would have changed his
yeah.
mind, but probably not.
Back to Nature.
No good.
Elspeth.
I'd probably not bring an Elspeth in, but
Nissa,
because he's already got 2 main, right?
A Johnny Mentor of Heroes isn't really what you want to be doing. There's another Eugene Ugin. Garrick Apex Predator. You could bring in a Murderous Cut and an Utter End if you want more removal spells. If
I'm John, I'm probably bringing in the 2 Glares, the Cut, and the Utter End.
Taking out.
And I could consider also bringing in Elspeth. There's something else that we want to bring out. He's got 3 Tassigurs main. I don't think you want 3 Tassigurs against an aggressive deck.
4 Thoughtseize. Thoughtseizes are fine.
Thoughtseizes are fine, but I think I probably would leave the Thoughtseize in because like the alternative is this Elspeth.
Liliana Vess isn't the best.
Right. So Liliana Ugin could come out because it's just too slow. So the slower Planeswalkers I think can come out.
Liliana Vess, and a Tasigur. And we need 1 more card? Or do you want to cut 2 Tassigurs?
I can cut 2 Tassigurs here, I think.
2 Tassigurs. And
he has 4
removal
still has
spells.
Abzan Charms to build card advantage, and they also double as,
But I know John Bott is a big fan of Tasigur, and that's why he's playing 3.
Well, Tasigur is a fantastic card. But, when your opponent is attacking you really quickly, it's not as good.
So he has Heroes Downfall in his sideboard right now. He took out Heroes Downfall. There was a Liliana. There's 2 Heroes Downfalls in his sideboard.
I find that surprising.
Yeah, me too.
I can't envision
not wanting quad Heroes Downfall.
Not wanting every Heroes Downfall you can get. Like it's not like the Abzan aggro deck is really making multiple threats with 1 card. So if you just trade 1 for 1 and you gain card advantage,
at some point in time,
you're just gonna win the game.
Yeah.
Like so, I think all of your 1 for 1 removal spells are fantastic. Obviously, the end hostilities are good.
Maybe I don't so worried about Valor Stance, but like I still can't. You don't cut a removal spell just because of
Valor I mean
Stance.
then he has to use Valor Stance. That's just how it goes. But we'll see how. Like hopefully no more mulligans.
No more mulligans. Real games. That is interesting. I'll have to ask him how he sideboarded. And I'm also interested in how Chris sideboarded because Yeah, I don't really know what you cut.
I was too busy looking at their deck lists and thinking about what they were doing than actually looking to see what they're doing. And sometimes it's just hard to see how people are doing it because they go so quickly, and they're obviously not flashing all the cards.
Yeah, they're not trying to show us their cards. Should be interesting. John Bot will be on the play this game, I assume.
Yes,
he'll choose, which is a pretty big edge in this matchup, at least.
So what do you think about Abzan aggro in general?
I played it and did okay with it, but it's pretty bad against the devotion decks, I feel like. So
it's like green white,
any green
X,
green red, green white. They were tough.
So I see two lands from John. I don't know if I saw a third. He's got 2 Abzan Charms, a Courser,
Scryland.
Oh, he's got 3 lands because I saw a forest in there. So this looks like a fantastic hand. I think it's Tasigur, Abzan Charm, Courser plus 3 lands.
Chris Neal has 4 lands, and he's keeping. Drew 5th. He's got the
Warden. And that was that a Tasigur or a cut?
I'm not sure.
It has the Sultai watermark on it.
There's a land on top, and he's going to leave it there. The lands.
Yeah, I think he just wants to draw plenty of lands because he can draw a bunch of cards with Abzan Charm, or he can use it to kill, Chris's creatures, but getting more lands is fine here, especially when they're going to gain him a life.
Chris with a pretty good start.
It's pretty good, but I think Courser slows us down a lot.
Now he's debating if he wants to Abzan Charm or Courser.
I think you just Courser here. Like,
going with Abzan Charm.
I don't like this play. Like, with Courser down, you get to see more cards. Like, you get to pseudo draw cards off of playing lands off the top of your deck. Plus, it can block. Like, it can block these things. It does something very similar. So
yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe he's thinking like he really wants to make sure he gains that 1 life, but I don't think that actually matters.
I feel like John Bot is just really worried about Valorous stance this match.
Because I don't think that matters. I don't. Right? Like, what if Chris just played an Anafenza there? Like, then you can't block with your Courser, and
I guess he wants to get he wants to try to get the value out of the Courser while he can, but he didn't.
But yeah, since Chris didn't follow up with an Anafenza, it's less punishing.
Chris has a Boon Satyr. It looks like 3 lands and maybe another spell.
Yeah, I can't make out the bottom card. There does seem to be a glut of lands, though. It's likely he's just going to pass this turn, I think.
Yep. Pass. Can either Boon Satyr on John's end step or level up his guy, and then you can bestow.
He's probably just going to level up and try and bestow. I think that can be the more interesting play.
Ooh.
Getting in there.
I guess if you're going to level up anyways, you can get 3 damage.
It does make sense to get in there.
The dice kind of confusing, just representing it's leveled up once or whatever.
So if I'm John here, I think you kind of just have to kill the Fleeceman line. You really can't afford to be
to let him
monster set.
Yeah.
Are those all cuts? That look like a lot of Murderous Cut.
It does look like 2 Murderous Cut. He has the potential to
2 Murderous Cut and a Tasigur?
Yeah.
It looks like 3 of the same card. Okay, so we're playing the 5-mana Murderous Cut, which I like here. You get to save your Abzan Charm, so it can draw cards. Just, you get to keep your more versatile card open. And it looked like Chris just drew another land. I see Boon Satyr, at least 2 lands.
So there's still that one card on the bottom. I'm not sure if it's a land or not.
This is
this is an interesting pick.
Pretty easy send here. I think. Yeah.
Did he block?
I think he did. Or I'm not sure.
Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, no blocks, but taking a bunch of damage.
That is a pretty big hit.
Yeah, but with all the removal spells he has, he can kill Warden in the middle of combat, and then he'll be fine.
That is a Tasker. Kind of doing exactly what a control deck wants to do. Although, he's only had to kill one thing so far.
I think I would just pass the turn here.
Because you have Abzan Charm?
I mean, I think I would probably be using Abzan Charm to draw 2, and then you still have enough mana to cast Murderous Cut in combat, so you can't attack with Boon Satyr. And if he's going to do that, he might as well also just attack for 2 with Courser. So him going to attack with Courser makes me think that's
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
As much as I like to try and get Tasigur down immediately, like, it doesn't really make sense in the scenario when your opponent has a 7/5.
You just drew a Valor Stance. It is a 7/5.
Well, John can cast Murderous Cut, and then if that doesn't work, then cast an Abzan Charm.
Which he seems like he's been playing around the whole match so far.
Yeah, he seems that he seems to be pretty conscious of the
Valor Stance.
The Valor Stance.
He's
gonna go with the Abzan Charm first.
Abzan Charm's Exile.
Yes.
Stance does not work there.
Yeah, but I think I might have still just
tried to go for
cut first anyways.
Yeah.
Unless there's actually 2 Tasigurs in his hand and not Tasigur and cut.
It looks like a cut.
He also has this Bile-Blight here. It can fire off at end of turn, put more fuel in the graveyard for Tasigur to be able to come down and activate at the same turn, which is big game.
Very important, I feel like, when you play Tasigur. At least in the control decks. Not so important in the aggro.
So, Chris is not in good shape right now. And I think mostly due to the fact that he is an aggro deck that has 6 lands in play on turn 6.
Yep.
That's not usually good.
I think Chris might have a Tasigur of his own in his hand. Yep.
Full mana Tasigur.
He's gonna Bile-Blight.
We're gonna end step the cut too. No, okay. Yeah, I don't think I would want to end step the cut anyways. I do think I would main phase it here just to get around the Valor Stance.
Yep.
Unless he wants to try and get a bunch of value out of his own Tasigur. Because he can play cut and then play Tasigur this turn. Just won't be able to activate it, but that's fine.
Will you be able to leave? I haven't been paying.
He'll be able to leave 1 card in his graveyard.
Okay, yeah.
And it's probably gonna. I would probably leave Absent Charm in the graveyard.
Absent Charm.
Like, he just passes the turn. I like playing Tasigur there. It just puts so much more pressure on your opponent. I think people are often really concerned about being able to, like, not being able to get a card off of it if their opponent has a removal spell, but all that extra pressure means a lot. So Chris Rhino will play Rhino.
Yep.
I can't imagine him not playing Rhino. He's trying to figure out how to be as efficient as possible with his mana.
But Chris does have a Valor stance.
He does have a Valor.
John Bott's playing around it.
But like, I don't think it really matters. Like, if he had just played his Tasigur, sure, his Tasigur gets, Valor stanced, and then you Murderous Cut the Siege Rhino, and then you have a Courser, your opponent has nothing. And you're living off the top of your deck when you get to see multiple cards and your opponent does not. Not to mention, like, gaining life.
John Bott's running hot with his Courser right now.
Yeah. That Thoughtseize is not going to be good this game.
No. All removal spells exiling. Once he does have Valor stance up.
Yeah. So I guess like this does work out a little bit better for John because he is going to be able to play
and activate
this turn, but he's going to get a Thoughtseize. Like Chris is going to give him a Thoughtseize, which is basically not a card.
It's true, but it does get it out of the way.
I think he's now realizing that, like, if I play Tasigur and activate it, I'm getting a Thoughtseize, so maybe I should wait, draw the Thoughtseize, put the Thoughtseize in my hand, and then hope to get better cards, which I think does make sense.
Oh yeah, he played the land off the top.
Yeah, he already played a land this turn. If he hadn't played a land this turn, it might have been worth it. He has a fetch in his hand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Chris is basically depleted. This Thoughtseize is actually going to... It won't even get the Valor stance, so... Yeah, the Thoughtseize is just no good.
Hitting lands off Courser. Digging deeper.
I mean, if he waits one more turn, he can play Tasigur and activate it twice.
Might as well.
Courser's down.
Now your Tasigur's alive for a while.
But Chris does reveal that he's got nothing. So now he can play Tasigur.
He's singing the Dame Mas Gasoline song in his head right now.
I mean, you can't activate it twice, but I think you should just play it. Like, Chris has nothing.
Yep.
We're gonna delve for full value just so we can get some of the worst cards out of the graveyard.
Yep. Definitely do not want Thoughtseize.
The card you want the most is probably Absent Charm. It draws cards.
Absent Charm cuts fine.
And it kills things. Yep. Like, those are the two things he wants to be doing right now.
Absent Charm is...
I think I would have activated main phase just in case, like, you flip a Courser and he gives you a Courser. That way you get to play a Courser. This board can get big.
It can get big. Land. Thoughtseize.
So that's a Thoughtseize.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. He does need to find a way to deal with this board.
Yeah.
It can get big.
That's what's really good about the Abzan aggro deck is that even your little cards can become such huge bombs in the late game if it's all stalled out. Death Dealer, Fleecemean Lion Monstrous isn't as good, but it's still something they can never get rid of.
So I'm just activating
Tasigur
again here.
Another Tasigur, that's unfortunate.
Tasigur's in the hand. I mean, he could give him Courser, but I think there's just more value in giving him Tasigur.
Legendary. Has John Bot played a land yet?
John Bot has not played a land this turn. I think I activate again, and you can leave your Tasigur back to chump. It won't be big enough to have to chump next turn, right?
We'll get to level it up both times.
It's 2 to level up the first time, make it 3/3, and then 4 the second time.
So he can do it on his end
and then he pays 6 to give it 5 counters?
Not 6 or 8.
It's not a card I'm like super familiar with. Yeah, it's
6, and it gets 5 +1/+1 counters on it.
Yeah,
so it becomes a 3/3, 8/8,
and 8/8.
Trample lifelink.
Yeah.
That's so he could go to 1 if he doesn't block.
Yeah, I think you block because you have a Tasigur in your hand.
Yep.
Like, so you get to draw another card here. Like, I think I would. I think since he's used both of his cuts, there's nothing he can draw right now. So we now have a 3/3
Lifelink trample.
lifelink trample. So if John does not find a removal spell off the Tasigur or the draw step or the follow-up Tasigur and it's 2 activations, he is dead.
He is in trouble.
Yeah, he does agree with
the block.
chump block play. So we're going to activate Tasigur response.
Abzan Charm. Hero's Downfall.
So now we're actually going to get something
We're
good.
going to get a Courser.
We're going to get a Courser, which is fine. Like,
it's not
it's
great.
going to let us find some more cards. It might be too late if
I think it's
if we
too
don't
late for
if we
Courser.
don't grip something here.
But if we get to kill this and we get a follow with a Courser, it's not bad. So it's a 9.
And the thing to remember that a lot of people forget about Warden is you can activate the last ability as many times as you want.
Yeah, so next turn you can give it another 6 count or another 5 counter, sorry.
Yeah, so next turn it's going to be
It was an 8/8.
13/13.
He can get big. And he has a Fleece main line.
Yeah, and the fact that the Tasigur's in the graveyard now means that he can play Tasigur exiling Tasigur,
Yeah.
so that's gonna be fine.
Boblight's not a bad draw, but
So
Tasigur, exiling Tasigur.
John's in a rough spot here.
He really wants to hit land when he activates this.
Yeah, so we're gonna exile Tasigur for sure.
A land.
I mean, just he wants to exile 5 cards just to have
Yeah.
as much mana as possible.
Abzan Charm. Hero's Downfall.
So there's a cut in there, which is
fine.
pretty good. That was 5 cards, yeah.
Yep.
So if he's able to get the cut back, he'll be in okay shape. Thoughtseize. So that might be the game. I don't think there's a way out.
Well, if he hits land, because he has 4 lands, he can cut.
Yeah, but then
He gives him Abzan Charm.
Yeah, he gives him Abzan Charm, and that's the game. He hasn't played a land yet, so he will be able to Bile Blight, but I don't think that reduces enough damage. We're gonna play Courser, flip a Siege Rhino. So if he double blocks, that's 9 damage. He will take 4, go to 2. So he is live, but he's going to lose both of his creatures, and all he's going to have after that is a Siege Rhino, and then the game will be over.
He's playing his land to gain a life. He might have to.
Oh, so actually it's not over. So he can fetch
fetch.
and see if he gets something different.
He better not fetch while he still has a Courser in play. I want the sweat.
Well,
But
he wants to
he
gain
wants
a
to
life.
save the life, I know. Or not lose a life.
I mean, there is some value to not showing Chris the info, but like when it's like if it's not it, you just lose the game.
Yep.
I don't.
Might as well
see
just
a
gain
reason
the
to do
life. But the sweat. I bet John Bot wishes, unless I was wrong in seeing the Hero's Downfalls in his sideboard.
that. Yeah, I can't imagine he boarded.
It
removal.
really looked like that is what happened.
So he has to double block here, unless he might not know how Warden works. He might just lose.
There's no way Chris Neal doesn't know.
No, I'm saying John might
Bot?
not know how it works.
Oh. Well, it's a 8/8 right now.
Yeah, it's gonna go to 13 minus 5 is what is that? 8. It's lethal, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
John is just realizing it now, and he is upset he didn't read the card. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the match. I think John got a little unlucky, but I think it might have partially been due to leaving in Thoughtseize. Like,
Yep. I don't think Thoughtseize is...
If he didn't have Thoughtseize,
you can, like...
he would have won the game.
Yep.
Like, if it was just, like, any removal spell and Thoughtseize, even if it was, like, an Elspeth or...
It's... Thoughtseize is good on the early turns. Obviously, you can take their bigger threat. As soon as it gets past, like, turn 4 or 5...
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot... I don't really want to call this a mirror because it's not a mirror, but like the Abzan versus Abzan decks, regardless of whether they're the same build or not, a lot of times they end up with both players just not having cards in their hand.
Yep.
So Thoughtseize is just awful.
Top decking a Thoughtseize.
Yeah, it's just
if the game goes late,
terrible.
And you have 4 Thoughtseizes still in your deck.
They're looking through their sideboards now, so we'll get to see. Yeah, he boarded out 2 downfalls, and there's an end still. Yeah, that's it.
It just seems wrong to me.
Yeah, he could have certainly sideboarded better. It looks like, based upon what he shuffled through his hand, he took out 2 Thoughtseize, and he just got screwed by the 2 Thoughtseize he left in the deck.
Well, I was going to say maybe take out 2, but he did.
So that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
All right, well, I'm going to see if I can find us another match.
All right.
Because that one went pretty quickly.
Let's do it. We'll be back.
Alright guys, welcome back for round 2. We're going to have Owen Daniels versus Grant Kane. On the right we have Owen. Owen's playing mono red, and it's aggressive.
It looks really aggressive.
I see lots of 4-ofs, just a few 2-ofs. We got Lightning Strike, Fire Drinker Setter, Hordling Outburst, Goblin Heel Cutter. Big fan.
It's a good card.
Stoke, Rabble Master, Searing Blood, Swift Spear, Scout, Foundry Street Denizen. That's how fast we're going with Wild Slash.
No one's playing a Chrome Crusader
The
anymore.
good old 21 mountain build. So this is going to be a race.
Right.
What do we got Grant playing?
Grant looks like he's playing Abzan Control. Courser, Siege Rhino, Heroes Downfall, Thoughtseize, Bob Lights, Charms, Elspeth, Tassigers. But this version has more Planeswalkers than the last version we played. It has a Johnny, Garrick, and Soren in the main.
So very, very similar to what John Bot was playing last round. I think it's just
More
+1 a Johnny,
Planeswalkers.
+1 Garrick, +1 Soren,
-1 Tassiger.
-1 Liliana, -1 Tassiger, -1 Elspeth, +1 Read the Bones,
Yep.
and -1 End Hostility. So I think mono red might be slightly favored here.
I think it's going to be favored for sure game 1.
Like,
And we'll get to sideboards after this game. But in the match, yeah. But they're getting their opening hands right
yeah,
now.
I think if Owen wins the die roll, I think he's probably at like 60% to win game 1. It looks like he has 2 lands too, which is exactly how many he wants.
And Grant has a Courser and a Downfall and an Elspeth and
That's-
Lance.
That's good too.
Yep.
The Courser's just really good against the.
If he's on the
red
play, it's got to be nice.
deck. I think Grant's on the play. I think he just kept it. Now Owen's thinking. I think Owens might be concerned he doesn't have a 1-drop, if I can see correctly. We're just seeing some Mardu Scouts. Stoke. I think two Mardu Scouts. A Stoke Outburst and a mismatched mountain he just drew. That's disrespectful.
Was it a mountain? It is.
That's really disrespectful.
Some respect for the
I
game,
know.
please.
If you're gonna be on camera, at least have matching basics. Jeez.
It's definitely good for Grant so far.
I guess most people aren't packing 21 of the same Zendikar art.
You gotta
you got like
be.
12 or something because they're not going to be playing that many basics. So, first play of the game, Mardu Scout. Courser matches up pretty well.
Not
against Mardu
dashed.
Scout. So, I'm now swinging the favor
Favor towards Grant this game. Yep. No 1-drop is such a huge tempo race, and he's drawn running mountains so far.
Running mismatch mountains.
They're both mismatched.
I know they're not even there's
think
not
that-
even just 2 kinds. We're up to 3 kinds.
That mountain might be foil too that he just played.
Oh. No, that's too old for him to have foiled that.
All right.
I think you just Stoke. Like, it seems bad, but like,
If you knew Grant's hand, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, you can play Rabble Master. You can play Rabble Master this turn and then Stoke the following turn. I think that's fine too. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. Is Mardu Scout a goblin?
It is.
It is,
I believe so.
but then it would have to attack, so we would not want to do
we
that.
don't want to do that. He could second main it.
Yeah, so we're
We're on the Stoke, man.
we're on the Stoke. Thoughtseize, not the best card to draw, but it's actually not bad when there's an
It's
empty
not bad
board.
here, yeah.
What does Grant got?
He doesn't have much for a while. He's got 2 Heroes Downfalls.
Okay, so now we get to see all of Owen's hand.
But he doesn't
got
have-
a Scout, a Rabble Master, and 2 strikes.
That's 6 damage.
So
Taking the Rabble.
taking the Rabble Master makes sense. It's the thing that's going to provide the most damage for Owen. Having green up makes us not have to worry about Bob Light. So
Bob Light
I think
or-
Owen might still just dash it anyways.
Yep. 6 damage.
What is that random face down card on the table? What just happened?
Where? He's scrying.
Oh, he's scrying. He's pondering his scry.
Didn't get a look at it. He left it on top, though. So we will get to see it. That's not a bad draw.
Yeah, so here I think I dash. Yeah,
Yep.
okay, so we dash
6.
that, and then we're going to follow up the Fire Trigger Sitter.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's not a bad turn. And if Grant keeps stumbling, he'll have to land on top. I guess he just really wants to cast this Elspeth, which probably will win him the game if he casts it. But yeah, I think it's right to take the land. He just has to not die the next turn, which I think he can avoid.
2 strikes. He can dash again. He has 2 Hero's Downfalls. He only can cast 1, so he can kill one of the scouts. Or do you want to kill the satyr? Probably the scout.
Probably the scout.
The scout that's on the battlefield, not dashed. Because I assume he'll just dash again.
Yeah, you got to kill the scout, right? Because he has 2 lightning strikes. So if Owen gets in 6 damage this turn, you're dead. So he needs to get in just. If you can get him just be 5 damage this turn, he'll go to 1, and then he'll be teetering on the edge, but it'll be close. And he'll have a way to get back in the game with Elspeth pretty quickly.
This is when I got collateral damage.
Really?
Yesterday.
Oh boy.
This turn, basically.
So, you kill the one that's not dashed, just to make Owen waste more mana, which he does.
Yep. But he gets the pawn. That's still 6.
Yeah, it is still 6. So I think
he needs a Rahino.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the pump, and I think Grant's in not so good shape here.
Mardu Scout.
He drew another Elspeth, so
yeah,
he's got to just play land pass a turn, just like see what happens.
Can't just play an Elspeth.
Yeah, you can't make the play that your opponent just knows they win.
Yeah.
So
land go.
Or I mean, maybe you can just hope they forget that they have 2 lightning strikes in hand.
He's doing it.
We're going 5. I guess it wouldn't have even mattered because his land was a fetch land, so he was going to have to fetch, and he's still going to be in lethal range. So I think this game is over, but we're just wasting time shuffling our deck.
Wow. We're on camera.
We're going to go through the formalities of losing the game.
They're friends, right?
Yeah,
they do not want to lose to each other.
Yeah, it's like, shrug, I play Elspeth. Oh, yeah, you have those still. You didn't just completely forget about them and drop them on the floor. Yeah.
Crap.
All right.
Well, going to sideboards.
I think Grant is in much better shape.
Yes. He can bring in. He's got 4 Fleece Mane, 3 Drown in Sorrow, 3 Glare, 2 Read the Bones, 1 End Hostilities, 1 Erase, and 1 Back to Nature.
So the 4 Fleece Manes and the 3 Drowns come in.
For sure. What about the End Hostilities?
Maybe if there's other stuff to take out.
Cut, yeah.
But it's not. I don't think it's particularly good. So let's look at what's coming out for him.
Abzan Charm doesn't seem. Actually,
it's still fine. So I think.
What about a Johnny? And Garruk Apex Predator?
I think you can board out 2 Elspeth. Like, I don't think you need 3.
Okay.
I think you can take out Garruk Apex Predator, certainly, and I think you can take out the Read the Bones.
Is Mentor the 4 mana or the 5 mana?
That's the 5 mana one. It's fine if you want to just gain card advantage. I think I would take it out too.
It's too slow.
Yeah, so the only Planeswalker I would leave in is maybe 1 Elspeth and 1 Sorin, but you could probably just take out all the Elspeths.
Yeah.
You want to leave in all the Bobwhites. Thoughtseize, I can take it or leave it. Like, some people think Thoughtseize is just inherently bad against burn decks, but if you're actually pulling a Stoke,
or
you're just gaining 2 life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not always bad. It's probably one of the worst cards he still has, but the 5, 6, 7 mana Planeswalkers are not so hot against the mono red decks.
So he took out Thoughtseize. I saw an Abzan Charm in there, and I saw the Ajani Mentor.
Okay.
Can't see what else he's looking at right now.
I would hope, I think Garruk is the first card I see, and I want to instantly take out.
Yep.
So,
what about Owen? What do we got bringing in?
So we got collateral damage, which is probably coming in.
Yep.
Against removal hell, it just is, basically
so
a lightning
annoying.
bolt.
It's so annoying.
We got 1 Outpost Siege. I think I bring that in.
For sure.
1 Mardu Scout and 1 Heel
Cutter?
Cutter. I think those are fine to bring in too. He has Eidolon. I don't think it's good in this matchup. I don't think Grant has enough cheap spells to actually make that matter. And I don't think there's enough stuff that he would want to take out anyway. So I think.
Yeah, I'm interested. What do you take out in this matchup? Wild Slash?
He can take out Searing Blood.
Yep.
So he's got 3 Searing Blood main. He doesn't need those. That's the only like super obvious thing. I think you could take out the Wild Slash too.
I think so.
You don't want to go too slow. Like boarding in the Heel Cutter and the Mardu Scout, it's kind of slow, and we're only bringing in 5 cards. So we take out the 3 Searing Blood, probably just 2 Wild Slash. I think that's right.
Definitely Searing Blood on the board. I saw that.
Yeah, I mean it's not very good. Like you have to 2-for-1 yourself to just get 3 damage in.
Yeah, pretty bad.
So
once we're boarded, I feel like it's just you have the Drown or the Bile Blight, as long as Owen gets a reasonable hand.
yeah,
That's
and
how,
then
that's how it'll
just
go.
has to wait for a Courser, so you try not to
fade the burn spells to burn him out.
Yep. I haven't seen just a very red.
This
List in a while.
I've seen. It doesn't look like any of the mono red decks are playing like the Crone Crusader Titan Strength shenanigans anymore. They've moved on towards
It's too cute.
I guess
There's also just a lot of removal floating around right now.
it's true.
I don't know if red is like actually that well positioned. I feel like against these Abzan control decks, it's a head game 1, probably behind after board.
Yep.
Against the Devotion decks, I think it's just behind every single game. Against Absent aggro decks, I think it's behind. Like, it's good against blue-black control. Yeah. Blue-black control. What else is it good against? There's gotta be something else that just, like, destroys.
I don't know.
I see a Drown of Sorrow. Do we have lands?
We have two lands.
This is a sketchy
One of which
keep.
is black.
I
The other
think-
one cannot.
I think
be
I keep it
cannot
anyways.
be black.
There is a Scry land.
Skyland, we're on the draw.
We're on the play. Grant's on the play.
Grant's on the play. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Grant lost last game.
I forgot. I thought he was gonna win.
Sure. I think he kept. Like,
I think it's a keep. Tops.
Yes, that was a land.
Maybe. That was a quick scry.
Owen's got some more mismatched lands. At least that one's a pretty one.
I don't think it's pretty at all.
Oh, I like those ones. They're crazy.
Fire Drinker Crusader.
So Grant did draw a land.
And it's a
It was
black
another
land.
Scry land. That's great, actually. Can't quite see what that was. I think he wanted to just dig for more lands because he got a Siege Rhino in his hand, and that's going to be hard for Red to deal with. So, goes down to...
It's 5.
That's 5 damage.
It's fast.
Oh, they got it. Owen figured it out. Grant trying to scum his friend. I'll take 2 from your 5 damage.
And the dash is so good against the Drowning Sorrow. Like,
Yeah.
you want to
it
Drowning
is-
Sorrow to
it
kill
is
my
pretty
Fire
strong.
Drinker Crusader? Sure.
But he does have, I think he has Downfall in his hand too. So he might just Downfall.
Yep.
It feels kind of bad to Downfall a Mardu Scout.
He still has his Wild Slashes in, so there's one right there, I believe, on top of his hand.
Yeah, I think he could have, like, there's only really 2 you could board out, unless you want to, like, board into, like, Arc Lightnings, because there's slightly more damage.
Yeah,
But,
they're
like, it's 3
slower.
mana.
Yep. Slow.
You wanna finish these games out quick.
Does he only have 2 mountains?
Swiss Spear.
Alright.
I don't think I like this Swiss Spear play, unless he's... Because, like... You dash on turn 2 probably because you're afraid of the Drown. And now, like, this
You're
is
kinda
just
playing
bad
into
against
it.
Drown, unless...
He has Wild Slash, though.
Yeah, he could just Wild Slash to save the Swiss Spear.
Yeah, which isn't bad.
But,
Because I assume he'll downfall the Fire Drinker Crusader. But he could.
I mean... He probably should downfall the Swiss Spear.
You would downfall Swiss Spear?
I mean, it threatens roughly the same amount of damage as Fire Drinker Crusader, and it lets his Drown of Sorrow be better.
We'll see. Nope. But I can see how your Drown in Sorrow would be better. You just take an extra damage.
That's
There's
the
the collateral damage.
So we're taking 5 more. We're going down to 9.
Also, yeah, trigger. It's crazy. It's so annoying.
Yeah. Collateral damage.
It's awesome against the removal spells.
So do we have the 4th land? I think he does have.
He has a
land.
Courser too. So,
but he has a Siege Rhino, and I'd rather gain 3 life than no life, or 1 life. Because also the 4/5 is more annoying.
Nope.
No. Unless he has a 1 mana spell, I'm not a huge fan. Was it only a come into play tap land?
He's just -12.
That might have been it. He might have only had a land that can come into play tap.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Shove the other end at the bottom.
Murder's Cut. That's
good.
good.
Slide upgrade here. Is that
Harness by Force? It is. He brought those in.
It's not. I think it's fine because like
rhinos.
You get the rhino.
It seems like they most of the time just have 1 creature out there.
So he gets the Eidolon or the Courser.
Courser down.
But
and then just has to pass.
He would have really liked the 3rd land, I think.
Yeah. 3rd land if he had a Heel Cutter.
Yeah, I think 3rd land plus Heel Cutter would be real nice.
There's the Rhino.
And so it begins. The Rhino here just has like, it almost says just like draw 2 cards. Like you get 2 extra turns or so.
Still missing the 3rd land.
Yeah, I see Rebel Master. I see Lightning Strike. Mardu Scout. Just cast the Mardu Scout, and this is
Drown time.
Yeah. Should attack first.
Yeah, definitely should attack first.
Just to get him for 2 extra damage.
Unless you want to keep it back in case he has a hasty.
You could keep it back to block.
But you have a cut.
Yeah.
Because you're going to drown.
You have a cut that you can use. So
yeah, I would attack for 4.
And like, if Owen just wants to throw 2 creatures in front, and do both of them, that's fine too.
Yep, he saw it.
So we got the follow-up drown. Scry 1, 2.
It's looking good.
If he's leaving that on top, I like his chances.
It's got to be a land, right? If he leaves it on top.
Okay. Well, I think he has 2 Elspeths in his hand. I don't think I would want to have 2 Elspeths in my deck at this point.
Yeah, you can just one off the back of the Siege Rhino. You don't need something crazy like Elspeth.
Owen bricked again and passed the turn.
Yep.
So
here comes probably be a Lightning Strike. But
we may be going to game 3 soon. Grant doesn't actually have that much pressure, so he could get burned out. And the fact that he can't really sit back and not attack with Siege Rhino, so like it makes Owen's Mardu Scouts and things like that more live, but it didn't look like Owen drew that. So
didn't even have anything to do on that instead.
Yeah, he bricked again. So I think that's probably going to be it.
Yep.
I think Grant could end hostilities here and still win the game.
Yep.
Alright, so that'll be game 2. We'll be going to a game 3 here shortly.
Game 3.
Let's see if they readjust.
Anyone switches up their sideboard. Looks like Owen's going back.
I think Owen, it makes more sense for Owen to change his plan on the
draw. Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know if he will.
You press the X.
Is that Rappel Masters that he boarded out? Don't know if I would board those out.
Play versus draw, I could maybe see it.
I mean, they're better on the play, correct? So,
okay, so I'd bring them back in, is what I was. But it looks like neither of them made changes for this game. Purple sleeves or red sleeves?
Mo of the purple sleeves.
Okay.
But either are defensible. As long as they're not Dragon Shields.
Fair enough.
Those both look like some hypermats.
Hypermat.
The best sleeve. So best sleeve.
It didn't look
And in
like
Magic terms, not close, which
We didn't-
usually means pretty close.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's not close.
Not close. We didn't see any fleece main lines, but we might have
I
not
don't know
just
if he
saw
boarded
them.
them in. I mean, I guess like Owen is leaving in all his lightning strikes, anyways. So maybe they're less good, but it's
It's three
three
damage.
less damage going
to
to
your
your face. Like he has to kill the fleece main
Takes
lion.
his turn to kill it.
I mean,
if he doesn't have it.
yeah.
But it seems like there's enough cards that you want to take out that you can fit at least some fleece main lion.
Yeah, I don't see the reason to be leaving in 2 Elspeth. I don't think you need 2 Elspeth. And I was thinking that after he ended that game with 2 Elspeth in his hand, he would have realized that.
You can just win with any of your creatures. You can win with just a Courser in play.
Yeah, I mean, Courser's fantastic in this matchup.
So we know
Soren's pretty good in this matchup too.
Soren is good, the life gain.
Like if you just go like turn 3 Courser, turn 4 Soren,
Plus
I
attack.
think you're probably winning.
It's true. So we know Owen brought in Harness by Force, for sure, and collateral damage.
I mean, the collateral damage
Is-
makes a lot of
yeah.
sense. Harness by Force, it's all right.
is up for-
so
yeah.
we got a 1-lander here, and he has to throw that back. I don't think there's a 1-lander without any 1-drops.
Heroes Downfall land, Siege Rhino land,
Land Elspeth Tassiger.
It's slow.
I mean, I think you can't mulligan that hand.
I just don't
mean,
like the cards
if
that
you still have
are
those cards,
still in their deck. Yeah,
yeah.
he is keeping.
I mean, like leaving Tassiger in is fine, but it's not really good in conjunction with the rest of the cards because he's not going to be able to fill up his graveyard with his hand.
Yep.
The Elspeth,
He has a fetch and a Hero's Downfall.
yeah. I feel like how this game is going to go is either Owen comes out of the gates really quick and he wins, and the Elspeth is in Grant's hand, or
Elspeth and
or
probably
Grant
Tassiger.
just wins without Elspeth. Like,
Yep. The Elspeth is not going to be an impactor.
an impactor.
An impactor.
There's no lands there, and was there any lands there?
Nope. And that's what happens when you play mono red.
Justice. No, like Mono Red's a fine deck.
I think it's a good deck.
I mean,
I would
sometimes-
never play it unless I.
It's not my style, but like, it's hard because you have to know exactly what you can do with your hand, and there's only like very certain routes to victory.
It's very narrow.
So like you have to be very good at mulliganing to play
Yep.
Mono Red.
And I don't think any of his decisions were very close. I guess
Yeah,
maybe
I
the
mean,
first
some of
hand.
the stuff.
Yeah. Some of the stuff. I mean, so far for this.
Like this game is
This
going to
specific
certainly be an uphill battle for him if he's going to win.
But if he just has 1-drop, 2-drop.
It's one too many cards. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter which one.
What?
Oh, he had 6 still. So 3 land. The good old 3 land.
Stoke. And can't tell what the last one is.
Yeah, if it's not a creature, he's in trouble. But I don't think you can mulligan that hand. Did Grant not draw a card for his turn?
No, he did. And now he has Bile Blight. Bile Blight's a new card.
Yeah, I don't see any reason to let this live.
Just keep 1-for-1ing him down. He mulligan down.
Yeah, I mean, that's what your deck does anyways.
You
Even when neither player mulligans.
You also want to fill up
mulligan
your graveyard for Tassiger, so cast your spells while you can, prevent damage.
down. We had to.
He gained 1 and then he lost 2.
Yeah, we had to pain 1, and that's a Soren. And now Owen's gonna be in trouble. Big trouble.
Just tap land go.
I mean, he could leave up Downfall, but I don't think you even need to
Yeah,
bother.
because the next turn you get to play your Sorin.
Well, I think he just plays Siege Rhino, and then he
He has a
follows.
Siege Rhino?
Yeah, he has a Siege
Oh,
Rhino.
well, this is...
He has a Siege Rhino with opener.
He had...
Remember with Siege Rhino, Tasigur, Elspeth, Downfall, 3 lands?
Yep.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. I actually just think the game's over.
I mean, it is. I can't envision stacking Owen's deck at this point and winning the game.
Yep. Siege Rhino. Why does Siege Rhino have to drain 3? Doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's already a 4/5
I know.
or 4
With trample.
Trample.
And then it drains 3.
And it has to come into play effect. Yeah.
It's a fair Magic card.
I mean, maybe Harness by Force plus some other shenanigans. But
I think one of his cards might have been a Harness by Force.
But that's like really only good after you've like whittled your opponent down.
Yeah, he's a 21.
When your opponent's at 21, it's no good. I think he just has to play this Mardu Scout here, and then
Next turn, hopefully line something up.
I mean, maybe the plan is to draw land so you can strive Harness by Force.
Yep.
Like you're not winning this game by not casting Mardu Charm here or Mardu Scout.
White bordered lands. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, it's disrespectful.
No respect for the game.
So I think we just cast Sorin here, and I think we're okay with just losing our Sorin to like gain 5 life twice, because like Owen has to attack the Sorin, and then we gain 5 off the Siege Rhino.
Yep.
And that puts Owen all the way down to 12. Puts Grant up to 26.
I would definitely.
Still left in the same position we're at right now.
Yeah. If he has to attack the Sorin.
If Grant wants to, he could just make a vampire and then wait the next turn to hold up Downfall.
Okay.
He's taking a more conservative approach. I'm gonna play the longer game.
I do not think. Alright. So he has a. What is it? Harness by Force left. And a land.
Yeah, I mean,
He's setting it up. Oh, he's doing it
yeah,
now.
that's premature.
6.
That's
10.
10 damage. Put him at 11. I think you have to wait until you can like steal 2 things.
Yeah. To try to get back. Now you have
Because
no cards in your hand.
You have no cards in your hand. Your opponent's creature is bigger than yours. You can't attack.
And look how much work this Elspeth
I mean,
is
I don't know
doing.
what he could have done, but I don't think that was part of the winning game plan. So now he's going to go with what I wanted to do last turn. So it's 16 on 11. I think I actually prefer the making a vampire play. Just because your opponent has no cards in hand
Yeah.
at this point, now you're less afraid of something.
And then, like, if he burns your Sorin, okay, you still have your guy to
Yeah.
block. Yeah. But now you just lose it. Although it doesn't seem to matter at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he has to attack Sorin. There's no other play Owen can make.
Other end.
I think
Tasigur.
there's still a downfall in Grant's
and a
hand, too.
Downfall. I think he needs one more card to be able to cast Tasigur and be able to cast Downfall.
But if he just plays downfall first, that puts the 5th card in the graveyard.
Word.
Yeah. Which I think I would do. It's lethal next turn. Well, there's a lion. I think I still... this play isn't lethal. I think I set up the lethal play. You could have also just played Tasigur with the lion.
Yep.
Which you want to kill him as quickly as possible. Even though you know, like, you basically can't lose. You might as well just close the game out as soon as you can.
The longer it goes, he obviously gets more percent to win, but...
Another harness by force? Would that even be lethal? That's 7 plus 5 is 12? No.
Does it untap?
It does untap. But it's only 12 damage. Cutting some heals. 4?
You have to ship with the Satyr.
Does he have a Bile Blight in his hand too?
He does.
He does, okay, yeah. He's very over.
I think you just let him attack. You're definitely right about the Elspeth, though.
I mean...
Even the Tasker...
I mean, he could have played the Tasker, though. Like,
there's an option to play it. Elspeth... doing nothing.
And that's the game. We can just... I mean, it's been the game for, like, 5 turns.
For a little while, but...
Oh, we're doing the rubbins now.
You gotta play it out.
Casting, yeah. Still had all these.
Still had all these.
Oh, they shook
A
hands.
handshake.
Punch him in the face.
Friends. Yeah. There was probably a shin kick under the table.
Yeah, a little bit. All right, well, I'm going to go see if we can find a Game 3 out there.
If not, we'll post the times for the next round.
Yeah.
Or when the time will be going off. Probably in turns.
Hopefully we'll be back shortly with a Game 3.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, so we have game 3 between Andrew Brown and Bo Duro.
Rowan, who complained about his Starbucks trips to me this morning. He said roughly 1% of the time did they pronounce it and spell it correctly.
Yep.
Blue black
on the right.
Blue black versus Jeskai.
Looks like Jeskai to me.
Yeah. So this is game 3. I didn't really catch who was on the play because we grabbed them real quick.
Yep.
Looks like a good start for Jeskai.
2-drop.
Blue black doing what it does best. Plays land, pass the turn.
He's got double blue. That's all you want.
Yeah.
It's taking the 2.
There is an outpost siege in Andrew's hand.
He
will want to resolve that next turn. That's dangerous.
Jeez.
Yeah. That
is
that
a big play.
was. You could see how excited Bo was to cast it. You just like slam
It's
the ball.
nice when you
down.
wait and then they play and you're like, yes. And now he has dissolve up.
For this this outpost siege that I don't know if Andrew will be able to resist, but he probably should. Nope. If he has something else to cast, it's probably correct to do so. That cannot resolve. So
there's a land on top. Bombs the land.
Bo also has, I believe, 2 dig through times in his hand. So if he can get a couple more cards in his graveyard, he's going to be in really good shape. Because you can just start chaining those together, and that's a Tasigur. There's also a vault and a pair, not a prolocation, a Tasigur vault, and was it 2 digs?
I assume Tasker's in his board. Yeah, it's in his board.
And he's
How
got
do you feel about bringing Tasker in this matchup?
I think it's fine. Like, this Jeskai deck, like, we don't know what happened the first couple games. This Jeskai deck also has one main Abzan advantage.
That is, I've tested it, and it is awesome.
It's awesome?
When it's awesome, it is awesome.
When
other times
it's awesome, it's awesome?
Like, if you have a Monastery or a Seeker, and they play Courser,
yeah,
huge game. And so he's going for a dig.
So he's just playing the Tasigur.
Oh, that's Tasker.
Right. I think I would have preferred to leave mana up. If you think your opponent plays around counterspells, you just leave mana up and you end step the dig.
Because here comes the Storm Breath.
Yeah.
And you have a vault.
You have a vault too. Like, oh, we
drew.
I don't know if we drew that or if that was in his hand, but that is
excellent.
the card. That is the card to play right there. We know which one you chose.
Yeah.
You chose the draw cards version.
We can see it too.
Not really, but it's all right.
It's okay.
We know what's up.
I like the effort.
The effort's appreciated. So
now we're on
the blue black control deck. Yeah, it's
we've kind of switched
the
roles
beatdown now. Yeah. So he can activate Tasigur and play Bile-Blight. Bile-Blight's not doing anything, but that's pretty good. Plus, activating Tasigur is going to fill his graveyard to make his dig through time cheaper.
Yep.
So we flipped a Stoke to Outpost. We're just stoking the face.
That's a free 4.
Huh?
Free 4 damage.
Yeah, free 4 damage. That's not bad at all. Yeah, why cast spells in your hand when you're exiling these cards that you have to cast this turn anyways? So we're activating Tasigur.
Land, dissolve. So dissolve or Bile-Blight, that's pretty gross.
I mean, you give him Bile-Blight.
But now he has 2 Bile-Blights.
Yeah, I mean, I can kill a Storm Breath now.
Yep.
And we
just
drew
dissolve. This is looking good.
And the fact that he has the Tasigur in play actually lets this it makes this Outpost Siege a bit worse because it's actually putting a clock on it. Usually what happens is your opponent has Outpost Siege and the control deck isn't like putting any pressure on you, so you get to draw so many cards. But in this situation,
he's taking
Andrew
away.
only has 3 more turns.
Yep.
But he's going to do his best to burn him out.
Bo does not have an Urborg in play, so we'd rather scry anyways. Do you want the Lightning Strike?
Is that what's on top?
Yes.
I probably would have scryed after I saw what happened with my Stormbreath Dragon. I would have let out the Stormbreath Dragon first, and then saw what happened.
Bow is getting pretty low
because it makes your lightning strike decision more difficult.
Yeah. Because if your Stormbreath Dragon lives, and you're like, sure, I'll keep it.
Yeah, because like
burn you out.
Yeah.
Or you can just get it right now.
I mean, does that matter? This is certainly getting countered, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bo is one short of being able to...
That's a Radiant Fountain, I think.
Yeah, I think I keep that. I think 2 life is...
Awesome.
He wants to land, right? Like, he's got Tasigur in play. He wants to land. I think it's actually pretty easy to leave it on top there.
Yeah, I believe so. And he agrees.
So...
Attack 4.
Down to 8. 2 turns left on this clock here.
Gain 2.
So it goes back up to 13. I don't see any reason to cast anything for Bo here. It's kind of awkward. Like
contemplating.
He's had this vault in his hand for a while, and
yep.
there's just been no reason to cast it. To the face.
Burn deck with a little card advantage.
Yeah, Outpost Siege is a hell of a card. So what do we got left for Andrew? I know he has a Storm Breath. Do we know what the other card is?
Nope.
I think I just double Bile Blight here.
I think so too.
Or I think I
activate Tasigur.
You can't activate Tasigur. He's 1 mana short. So
if you double Bile Blight, you can dig.
Then I think I would actually just dissolve. Does he still have dissolve? No, he has
used it.
Yeah, so you double Bile Blight. Because you can still dig after the Bile Blight.
Moving 2 blue up. Yeah.
So end step.
Gets to leave a dissolve down there.
I haven't played this deck, but it must feel really good to activate Tasigur getting back a dig through time.
Cards.
Like, it's gotta feel great. I think he just grabbed some Radiant Fountains. Like,
dig through time Radiant Fountain.
Yeah, I think that's right. The Radiant Fountains.
It's other lands and adjaces.
Yeah, who cares about just Ingenuity?
When you could be digging.
Gaining 2 life.
Plus you have Tasigur in play to fuel it.
Yeah.
You get to see more cards. He just has to basically survive.
Yeah, I mean,
1 more turn.
Andrew's at 8. Like, this Tasigur is beating down. And that's another Tasigur that's not so good. You could basically give us Tasigur Vigilance.
Go back to 12. You could. Alright. We got 2 cards, and we don't know what they are.
I mean, he needs like a...
So I think he just said go.
Did he pass the turn? Yeah, he's just a few damage short.
Yeah.
Is he doing that? I mean, he could just cast it on Tasigur and see what happens.
I think that's what he's doing. And just activate it again.
That's the only play you can make. It's the play he has to make.
Land, is that another dig?
Yeah, I can't tell.
It is.
It is. So...
Does the other ability... Yeah.
Andrew bought himself some turns, but now... Oh, he just activated it twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he gets his Tasigur back. Ugin.
Oh, he activated in between spells.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Now I understand. I think I cast Ugin. Can he cast Ugin and Tasigur?
No.
Did he exile the Outpost Siege or did he put him to 1? Put him to 1.
Put him to 1. Seems.
I mean, either seem fine. Is there a target player sacrifices the Planeswalker?
In white and red?
Yeah. They're up to siege, but it's too late. And so Bo will take out in the match 2-1. So Bo improves to 2-0.
Yep, 2-0.
I don't think we're going to be able to get another
match
for this round, so we'll be back for round 3, and I imagine around
the round's
10 to 15
almost
minutes.
over. Yeah, 10 to 15 minutes.